Hi, I'm Brenda Quintana coming to you from the Beehive at QBsQuest.com. This week I'm featuring the Let It Ride stamp set, and I just love this stamp set. It is great for animal lovers and nature lovers. Today I'm going to share how to make this super cute note card box that houses the 4 note cards that we made earlier in the week with this stamp set. I love this note card box because it looks like a barn stall with a little door that opens. So when I slide off this ribbon here, this little stall door opens up and you get to see the note cards on the inside. I also love this little greeting on the outside of the door that says, "Live as if someone left the gate open." So it's very appropriate for this note card box. I'm going to show you how to make this box from start to finish. So let's get started. To start off with, I'm going to use my Simply Scored scoring board, and I'm going to need a piece of cardstock. I have crumb cake cardstock here, and I've cut this piece to 7 1/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches. I'm going to score this piece at the 1 inch mark on all 4 sides. And this is what it looks like, and now you can set this piece aside for a moment. And now we're going to be creating the door of the stall, and so I'm also going to be using a piece of crumb cake cardstock. This time I've cut the piece to 5 3/4 inches by 3 5/8 inches. We're going to score this piece at the 1 inch mark on 2 short sides and 1 long side. So I'll start off by putting one of the long sides up at the top, and we'll score one of the short sides at the 1 inch mark, one of the long sides, and then the second short side at the 1 inch mark. And this is what it looks like here. These are the 2 scored pieces. We're going to work on this bigger piece first. So I'm going to make some cuts with one of the long sides facing me. And we're going to cut up along the score line just until we hit that first score intersection. And we're going to do that on both of those score lines. Then we're going to turn it to the other long side and cut up along those score lines just till we hit that score intersection. Then you need to fold this piece along all the score lines. And then I'm going to need some Tombow glue, and I'm just going to put it on all of the tab ends, all of the 4 corners of this piece. And then I'm going to glue them together one at a time. Start off with this corner first, hold it for a few seconds to make sure it adheres properly. Then come around to the next corner and hold that down for a few seconds. Then the next corner, hold that down for a few seconds, and then bring this last corner in and hold that down. So here is the bottom of the box. We can set this aside now for a moment. So this is the piece that will become the stall door. And so for this piece, we're going to cut away the 2 corner squares. So I'm just going to cut along the score lines and remove those 2 squares. Like that. Then you can fold this piece along the score lines. And then we can set this piece aside for a moment. Now I'm going to take a piece of Very Vanilla cardstock, and this is just a scrap piece. I'm going to need my Memento Tuxedo black ink pad. And I'm going to take that greeting that says, "Live as if someone left the gate open," ink it up, and stamp it in the middle of this piece. Then I'm going to need my Big Shot. I've got my magnetic platform down and one of the cutting plates on top of it. I'll take that greeting that I just stamped, and I'm going to take one of the rectangle stitch framelits to cut that out. So I'm going to use this second smallest skinny rectangle framelit, and I'm just going to hover it around the end of this piece. We're actually going to shorten this in a moment, so I want to have the greeting so that it is towards the left side. So then I'm going to take my second cutting plate and place it on top, and I'm going to run it through. Then what I'm going to do is remove this, pop this out, and I want to cut this piece a little shorter. So I'll place this down, and I'm just going to add my rectangle framelit to the end of this piece like that. Just make sure that it looks straight and that you give yourself enough room on this other side so that it looks good. And then we can run it through again, and this will allow us to have a shorter greeting and not take up so much space on the stall door. So this is what it looks like. This little piece, I didn't have my piece aligned perfectly, so I have this little piece hanging off that I'm just going to snip off right now, like that. Then I want to create a frame for my stall door, so I have a piece of soft suede cardstock right here, and I've cut this piece to 3 3/4 inches by 2 5/8 inches. So I'll just place this down. And I'm going to use the third smallest rectangle stitch framelit for that. And I'm just going to center this right on my soft suede piece. It's easier to run through the rectangle framelits on an angle. It makes it less likely to make that big clunky noise when it's going through. So I'll just do that, and I'm going to run it through with that framelit. And now we've created a little stitch frame to go on top of our stall door. And now I've switched to my regular platform because I'm going to run a piece through with a Pinewood Planks embossing folder. So I'll just put this embossing folder open on my platform. And I'm going to take a piece of crumb cake cardstock. This piece is also 3 3/4 inches by 2 5/8 inches. And I want the planks to go vertical, so I'm going to place them in like this with the spine of the embossing folder going through first, and then these lines should be running vertical. And because this is a thick embossing folder, I'm only going to need one cutting plate, and that one will go right on top, and then I will run this through the big shot. And there is the embossed piece. So now let's bring in all the pieces of the barn door. So I've got the inside piece, I've got the frame piece, and I've got this piece that's going to swing out. So first we're going to take this frame and add some Tombow to it. And we're going to add this on top of the Pinewood Planks piece to create that framed look. Then we're going to adhere this piece to this middle panel right here, and I'm just going to put Tombow on the outside, and then we can just add this in. It helps for alignment if you tuck these flaps under. It helps you get it right where it needs to go. Make sure it's aligned with the sides and the top, like that. Then I'm going to take my stamping mat, and I'm going to take my take your pick tool, and I'm going to poke a hole just right about here to put my brad in. So once I've got that hole started, I'm just going to wiggle this a little bit to make that hole large enough for those brad legs to go through. And I'm going to use one of these metallic brads, and I will just slide that in right there, and then pull out the legs like that. And now the stall door is ready to attach to the box. And so we're just going to attach this side right here into the box. So it will be the left side, and I'm just going to put Tombow just along this flap. So these will come and tuck in on the side, and they will keep the door from sagging downwards. So I'm going to tuck this in. I'm going to tuck these little guys in too. And so I just want to make sure that I've got good adhesion over here on this side so that it stays in. So I'm going to pull the barn door out for a second and then just press down on that inside to make sure that it's sticking really well. So one thing you can do to help this box close is when this comes in, it tends to want to catch right there. So this flap right here, let me open this up all the way. If you angle cut it just a little bit, it's going to allow for this door to close really easily because it won't hit the side of the box. And then when we add the ribbon in a moment, it's also going to help keep this barn door down and in the right place. So I'm going to use some of this copper trim to add to the front of the box. So I'll just kind of measure it by coming around here and giving it a snip once it reaches around to the other side. And so I'm going to tie a knot. So I'll do the first knot, I'll do left over right and over and create that first knot. Then I'm going to use my locking tweezers to hold down that knot while I finish it off. And then I'm going to do right over left and over. And that will create a little knot for my bow. And then you can just slide this to where you want it. I'm going to want these ends to be just a little bit shorter, so I'm going to hold them up and cut them just a little bit shorter. And then what I like to do with this ribbon is just kind of pull it out so that the ends get a little thicker and it looks a little better. So you can just play with that a while until you like how those ends look. So it just creates kind of a more rustic look for a bow. And then finally, we just need to add our little greeting. I think it's so appropriate for this little box. I'll just use a little Tombow to add this to the front of the box. Right there. And so now your note card box is finished, but we just need to add a few things to it. So on Monday, I created these note cards with the very vanilla note cards and envelopes. So I've already got 4 envelopes here, and I'm just going to tuck them inside the box. And then these are the note cards that go inside the box. You can just slip them in there. And the tutorial on Monday will show you how to color all of these note cards and make them. And there you go, a finished note card box, which would make a great gift. All the supplies you'll need to make this note card box are available for purchase on my blog. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Bye for now. I love to reward my customers with free tutorials. Check out my Hershey's card tutorial with gift box. You can get this tutorial free if you place an order over $15 in my Stampin' Up store. For more details, check out my blog at cubiesquest.com and click on rewards. Hi, it's Brenda again. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also visit my blog for more information on my projects and to learn about my rewards program, or just watch another one of my videos. Thanks for watching.